My name is Vianney Cuevas. I'm your co-host for today.
And I'm Molina Mir.
This is episode 1 of interviewing college students. Okay, so our first college student is going to be, introduce yourself please.
Hello, my name is Mr. Hernandez. I'm a Cal State Long Beach graduate. I majored in math education, and yeah, that's it.
What he said. All right, our first question is going to be, what kinds of extracurricular activities did you participate in?
I honestly wasn't too involved in campus, but one thing that I did find interesting that aligned with one of my hobbies was the video game and esports club. So I've been a part of their club for 2 years and whatever, and I've been to a couple of their meetings, and I like watching the tournaments that they put on for like Smash and stuff.
Cool. All right, our second question is going to be, how do you cope with a professor that you really hate?
This is a really good question because I feel like in your 4 years of college, it's very difficult to always run into top tier professors all the time. So there's always going to be a couple of stinkers in your college career. And honestly, the best way to cope with it is to just either go to the class knowing that you're not going to learn anything, and then be there for the attendance and do your best to study outside of class, or just don't show up to class to save yourself the mental sanity. I've used both of those strategies, and just, learning outside of class is basically the main thing to cope with bad professors.
And our third question is going to be, tips on how to schedule classes and what types of classes?
So my main tip for scheduling classes is obviously go to whenever you have your enrollment appointment, you should be the first person on there. Usually it's like, they give you an exact time, like 3 p.m. on a Monday. So you should be there at 3 p.m. on a Monday to make sure none of your classes are taken up, because if you have to go on a waiting list, that can mess up your entire other schedule. And then another thing I recommend is going onto the schedule of classes. Usually they post an entire list of classes that you can look from, and you can see the professors, the time, and the day, and that really helps a lot.
How do you manage your priorities to meet deadlines?
The best thing that I do to meet my deadlines is to imagine how I will feel in the future. So if I have 4 assignments due and they're all due in a week, I can tell myself, oh, you don't have to do them, they're only due in a week. But then if you have 4 assignments stacking on top of each other on one day, the day before they're due, that's when I'm like, dang, I'm gonna feel a lot of pain that day. So I really like to visualize myself and my position in the future, see what events I have going on, like work, school, making time with my friends and family and things like that. So that's how I keep myself on track, is imagining myself being in pain in the future and making sure my work gets done.
Describe a time when you contributed to a team to complete a class assignment.
Yeah, most of the time I'm a very, I'd say, outspoken person, and I'd like to think I can speak pretty clearly. So most of the times, if a person or if my group doesn't really like speaking out in front of a class, I feel like I'm very animated and can get people's attention with the way that I speak. So usually that's the group role that I fulfill, is the presenter or spokesperson.
What types of projects have you completed during your education?
As a math education major, the projects for my classes usually didn't tend to get too crazy. Most of the time it was just writing papers, so 5-page, 10-page paper, that would count as a project, or group work and forming a presentation on certain curriculum, or building out a mini lesson that you would present to the class. And I would be the teacher, and then my classmates would be like students that I would be teaching. So as far as projects go, that's it.